Now in this particular subtask of the rock paper scissors project, we are going to create a judge function which is going to decide who won the specific round. That is, it's going to compare the option given by the user and received from the computer, and we're going to compare the two, and whichever wins will be deciding who will win that round. So objectives are to update the determine winner function, and we know there are only three scenarios when we play this game. That is, both the user and the computer have chosen the same choice, which will result in a tie, and in one case when the user has won, and in the other case when the computer has won. And based on whoever has won, we need to print out, okay, user has won, or maybe computer has won. And if it's a tie, we need to print out it's a tie. So for each scenario, the function will output the current winner, or maybe whether or not it's a tie. We need to update the global variable which we initialized earlier. You can see over here we initialized uscore and computer score. So we need to update both of them so that at last we can compare two of them and decide the winner of all three rounds. Coming to the code, let's look at the determine winner function. So we're taking user choice and computer choice as an input. And first we're going to compare user choice and computer choice. And if they both are equal, which means it's a tie, we're going to print out it's a tie. We're not going to print it, but we're going to return it to the main function where it will be printed. So we'll simply be defining all the cases where the user wins over the computer instead of defining each case. So for example, I'm going to write a simple else if statement and define all the cases when user wins. That is, when user chooses rock and computer chooses scissors, when user chooses paper or computer chooses rock, and when user chooses scissors and computer chooses paper. So basically, whenever the user wins, we're going to increase the user score by 1, and we're going to print out congratulations, you win this round. And in the final else case, that is, whenever the computer wins, we're simply going to increase the computer score by 1 and print out and return computer wins this round. Coming to the main function, first you're going to initialize the random number seed, and this is pretty much the same as the previous subtask, except in the else condition at last, we are going to call the determine winner function after printing out the user choice and computer choice. And finally, we're going to print out whatever output we get from the determine winner function. Let's just run this code once. So you can see in the first round I gave rock and computer gave paper, so computer has won. And in the second round, both user and computer has given the same, hence it's a tie. And in the final round, I have chosen scissors and the computer has chosen paper, hence I won the round. But if you notice over here, we haven't declared the overall winner, we just declared for each round. So we'll be taking care of that in the further subtask. Let's just submit this code once. So I've passed all three test cases. Let's move on to the next subtask.